Hello everyone, it's Nerdy Perkins here to talk about more One Piece trading card game. And as you can probably see, there we go. As you can probably see, I'm gonna be talking about the red deck today. There's a lot of people talking about, how the red deck mechanically plays, and I'll talk about that a little bit, obviously, just because of the nature of it being a trading card game. But the way I'm kind of approaching this video in particular is more looking at how like the various card mechanics and how these cards play kind of match and fit how the characters are, or how the characters fight, or how how the cards kind of express the personality or the traits of the various Straw Hat members. We have more for some than we do for others. So, one thing I did kind of notice when I was looking over the deck as a whole is that the cards are all very synergistic. So, you have a lot of stuff being able to buff up your other characters to make them stronger in some way, shape, or form. And, it gives me that it really does give me that feel that the Straw Hats have, where they each have their own individual strengths that they all bring together to overcome their opponents. But yeah, we'll just get right into it though, and we'll start with the captain, Mr. Luffy himself. So we have our main card here, so like his main character card. So that's gonna be like what you play in your character, like in this character field up here, as opposed to the leader card down here, which we'll talk about here in a sec too. But this Luffy, I would call I'm giving him the name Gear 2 Luffy. He has kind of the steam. He's not colored like he would be with Gear 2, but the the abilities and stuff for this card are give me that feeling. So he has Rush, which means once you can just play him from your hand, and he can just, bam, hit right away. And then you can also add 2 Dawn onto him, so 2 like energy onto him to make it so he can get past blockers. So even more like Gear 2, where he'll just swing in, hit things, and like keep on going. So then Luffy's leader card, much in the way that I was talking about the deck in general being synergistic, can send Dawn cards that are tapped or rested to your various allies. So like if you're playing with a Sanji over here with Rush and stuff like that, his ability is a lot easier to use because you're tapping the 2 to summon him, and then you can use one of those at least to bring him onto the field. So like I said, the Luffy cards work pretty well. And then we have Jet Pistol, which is also technically like a Luffy card in some way. And it fits the move itself. Jet Pistol's a super fast attack. You can see it taking out this big, heavy pacifista. Like thematically, this really works because it can be triggered. You can pull it out, and you can take out a really, really beefy enemy with this. Like for like Kaido's deck example, like if you have this, you can rip it out and just take out Queen, which is like a heavy blocker on Kaido's team. But yeah, we'll move on. Oop, didn't mean to grab that. We'll move on up to the Zoro card up here. And I'm a big Zoro fan. He does get this nice buff here, where if you add a Dawn, he gets plus 1,000 power. And I need to confirm with like the Discord and everyone else to see if I think this 1,000 power, if you attach the Dawn, I think his power is increased even on the other player's turn. So if you put a Dawn on him and you switch the other opponent's turn and it's still on him, I think he's gonna be at 6,000, which is really cool. But it'll be useful for just making him a little harder to take out, basically. Because Dawn attached on the other player's turn doesn't like buff you up or anything like that. But anyway, but yeah, the additional 1,000 power really gives me the feeling of like Zoro, that moment in in his battles when he will like put that sword into his mouth. Gives me that feeling when you add that extra dawn, and then he's switching up his sword style, getting even stronger with his extra blade. So then we'll move on to Nami. You know, Nami's a support character, so you know she gets she really fills that support role in the deck, because you're gonna be wanting to like, if you have a couple Nami, just putting 2 of her on the field. You're not gonna use her to attack or anything, but every turn you're gonna be able to use those extra dawn. So you know, if you have a couple Nami out on the field, you can play a Zoro, and you know, like, you can buff him up pretty easily. But the other thing is that I like the idea that you're going to want to have you know, probably a couple of her on the board if you can. And it gives me that feeling of her Mirage attack, where she produces a bunch of different versions of herself with her Climate Act, which is really cool. I think that, like, I was thinking of that, and I think that works really, really, really well. So then we have our boy Usopp, our sniper. And you know, his abilities and stuff really work with that sniper idea. You add the extra 2 dawn to him, and he can get past those weaker, not even weaker, mid-level blockers. I just say weaker because the only, like, what we have Chopper on the lower end blockers, and we've seen a couple other low end blockers, and then Queen's our higher one that Usopp would not be able to shoot past. And you know, he has his triggers, so it gives that feeling of, you know, you get hit, and suddenly Usopp's there to back you up, and is ready to swing in an attack on the next turn. And both these guys are pretty neat. They have low cost, but they also have the counter. So like I said, they kind of fill their support role that they kind of do on the crew, where they're not, you know, they're not going to be doing like super heavy fights, but they're going to have a lot of like little support stuff going on, which is really cool. So then we go over to our boy Sanji, who has Rush if you can give him to Dawn. And why this is really cool, well, for his character, the Rush, I mean, he is a fast guy, but Sanji is also kind of, he's the cook, but he also is kind of like the crew's infiltrator of sorts. For a while, he either didn't have a bounty poster, or his bounty poster didn't match his face, so he would be able to sneak behind enemy lines, and then right at the right moment he can pop in and, you know, help the crew with exactly what they need. So that gives me that feeling with Rush, where he can just pop out and attack from the hand, like, right away. And he synergizes well with Nami, which is no surprise. He is a lover boy, and if you have a Nami on the field, you can use her, and you can use your Luffy leader card, and you can use your we'll use that Luffy leader card, and you can buff up that Sanji and have him do Rush right away, which is really, like, you know, like I said, it really works well, and it shows that whoever was making this game, like, knows the manga, which isn't that much a surprise. It's a very popular series. So now we can talk about Tony Chopper, the most adorable cotton candy loving reindeer. You know, he's pretty simple. He has your 1/1. He's a blocker, and the blocker works. So he's the doctor. He's gonna be, you know, hopping out, making sure that you can keep on going through the fight. But where I think we're gonna see maybe a little bit more going on, I mentioned it in my other videos. I think we're gonna see a transformation mechanic, and it will probably use his points. And if not that, I think we'll see other Chopper cards that will be his different point forms that will have different, you know, different effects. Wow, brain fart. We can move on over to Robin, and I don't really have a lot to say about Robin because she's sadly a vanilla card. Makes me very sad. She does have this nice counter 1000, but so do, like, if that's just a natural vanilla, you know, she is, as she has been throughout the series, a very good support character. And, you know, you get that feeling that, you know, when she pops out and does that counter on someone and keeps them from hitting, that she's just popping some arms out on their neck and just breaking it. you know, just having fun, breaking necks like Robin does. So then we can go over to Frankie, and you'd think that him being a vanilla would mean I'd basically have the same thing to say, but we do know that we already seen art for a Battle Frankie card. I don't, yeah, that's not gonna be in here because it's just art we've seen. I'll pop it up here so you can see it because it is beautiful. I cannot wait to have it. And you'll probably, that's going to be like an instant throw into this deck, I'm assuming. And if it's not just something you can play right off the bat, I have a feeling that Frankie and it will either synergize together, or you're going to be able to have that sucker in your deck. And much like I think they're going to be transformations with zones, I think you'll have a very similar thing going on with Frankie, where you'll be able to just toss that Battle Frankie like right on top of him, and then he'll be even stronger and have some kind of effect, and it'll be awesome because Frankie is the best and he is super. I love him. He's my baby. I love him. Anyway, we can go over to Brook, my other favorite, and you know, he's getting some love here. I really like it. Someone else might be able to say how his ability like works better with like the lore of One Piece, but his ability just gives me that bard feel, and Brook is the musician of the crew, if you can't tell by the fact that he has that guitar in his hand, and you know, it gives me that I'm a D&D fiend as well, so when I just got that feeling when you play him down, it's like that bardic inspiration he just sends on out over, and you know, he's synergized as well with Sanji. You can pop that Sanji down, pop that Brook down, and then bam, you put those 2,000 onto him, and it's good to go. You got a rush right there. Yeah, no, like I said, not a lot going, like, that's the biggest thing. He has that nice counter as well, where, you know, like I said, he's not going to be, like, swinging out, like, hitting the heavies. I mean, you can buff him up to do it, but he's really going to be more supporting, like, supporting everyone else, which is really cool. He's getting a good position. And then we're going to go to this, which is going to be the last two, actually, because these guys, as they should, are very synergistic, or at least have very similar abilities. You have Jinbei, who you can play, attach a Dawn, and then if you attack, he can buff someone by 1,000, which, here, give me a sec. So just, like, so I can use this as an example. So, you know, you play him, he attacks, and you can buff your character. And then Sunny does much the same, where you get that on the field, you tap it, and it will add, once again, another 1,000 to the life. So, you know, it would bring Brook to 4,000. If you have both these guys, you can do, you know, you can attack with Jinbei, add that, and then you can, sorry, I'm still, I don't know how to set it to 2, but you would set the dice to 2. But maybe if I do this and hit the, oh, nope. We're learning things. I'm sure someone will in the comments below can tell me. I need to really do a deep dive. I've mostly been just kind of using the tabletop as a display for the videos at the moment, which is super awesome. I'm going to shout it out a little more here at the end here shortly. But, so yeah, anyway, you have the not Brook. You have this Jinbei and Sunny who, you know, you can tap the Sunny, buff up that Jinbei, and then he can pass, not really pass, but it feels like passing the buff onto someone else. So, you know, I really like what they're doing here. Same thing with kind of Brook. I don't really, the buffing characters, I mean, you know, what we've seen him do as a Straw Hat has mostly been like, you know, kind of backup, or like, you know, not backup, but once again, kind of support. I don't want to get into too many details because I know some people probably are coming in maybe just looking to see, like, you know, watch less with spoilers and stuff like that. So I don't want to get into like story details other than like kind of how these guys roughly function. And we'll skip on over to the last two that we'll talk about, which are these two down here. And, you know, you'd think that the lower two vanillas I wouldn't have much to say about. But honestly, once again, whoever's making this game is like, you know, I think has a real passion for the series. Because these two, you know, if you're just playing with the base deck, they're going to work really well. They're going to function well. And I'm sure, like, people, once again, a little bit more into card games themselves will find reasons to keep either one of them in this deck. But they're low vanilla. I have a feeling once we get this base set going, there's going to be plenty of other cards that you're going to want to switch them out. So much like their counterparts in the main series of One Piece, I think these two are destined to be members of the Straw Hat crew, but destined to live apart from the Straw Hat crew. So yeah, I doubt they're going to be living in your Straw Hat deck. They will likely be living in your, your collector's box, or worst case scenario, sold to someone. But we'll have to see if these have any kind of value once this gets started. But that is really all I have to say about these, all these handsome folk here. I do something like this with Kaidos, but honestly, like I don't think they're like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but some of their abilities certainly do kind of like function and like feel like they might work well. Like Kaido in particular, like him as a leader card, like where he can just like bam and take a life card right to the trash. Like that definitely that feels like very Kaido, but overall, I don't have much to say about like each character in his deck, at least not yet, because I wanna wait and see if we maybe get some hint as to what we're gonna see with all these zone cards, because I think we'll have a lot more to say about like that deck and those cards in particular when we kind of see the full set and what we're doing with the like zones, and if there's going to be transformations and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, that's about all I have for today. I hope you liked the video. If you like this this setup here, I believe you can find the tabletop sim on Steam, and you can get this like as a mod. Super easy. It was made by another content creator named basically Hawkins. You should definitely go check out his channel. He's been doing a lot of really good content around the trading card game in particular, and he's been I don't know if it's just him that's been updating this, but we have him to thank for this setup, and then we have the awesome community on the Discord and several other places. I'm gonna start doing a lot more research so I can get start putting a few more like links and like resources you can go to start looking into the card game. And the other thing to do is, if you're really interested in the game itself, you should check in with your local trading store, your local card stores, because they may be doing pre-release. And I know I've been hearing on the Discord that some of these places are already taking pre-orders, so it wouldn't hurt to check just to make sure you don't miss it. Because I've also been I think on a comment to another channel, I saw someone saying that it was their store was only getting 8 decks. So, but don't take my word for it. Like, I'm sure that some stores are if you have a really big store in your area, they'll likely get more. But it will not hurt to certainly ask, so you can look into getting the pre-release starter decks, because I think they're going to come with really nice holographic shiny unique versions of the leader cards here. Yeah, that, like I said, that's all I got for now. Like, subscribe, all the stuff that the YouTubers say, whatever. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.